Hi Taurus, this is your general tarot reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Ascendant rising sign for the month of March. So let's see what is happening for you. You know, as I was tuning into your energy source before doing this reading, I was looking at the chart here beside me and I was seeing so much activity in your psychic house, the 12th house. So I was tuning into your energies and I started to record, and then my phone rang and I had to answer it, and it was a Taurus that I was speaking to for a while, and I put the phone down. I said, that's a coincidence. So I started recording again. The phone rang again. Another person, Taurus. And I said, okay, we've got to talk about this in the video. Taurus's super psychic spidey senses are definitely in their full power for the month of March. So Taurus, if you've seen my videos before, you know what I'm doing here. I'm shuffling the cards and waiting for the right ones to come out just for you. And in the meantime, while I'm waiting, I'm going to talk about these energies that are happening for you. So yeah, very heightened awareness of the 12th house issues, communicating, opening up about things. Now Taurus, we know that over the last, let's say, 3-year period, more or less, that some of you Taurians have lost very significant people in your life. There has been a transformation in your life where some people left, maybe relationships that you had people that you had a very strong bond with have left. They may have just moved away or moved on with their life or moved into the next life. And you're very good at dealing with such things. You know how to dust yourself down and deal with these things in a way, in a healthy way, usually. But for some reason in March, there's going to be a little bit of a revisit. That door is going to open again, which might bring a few moments of remembrance. And it's a good thing to happen because it will give you an opportunity to talk to people close to you, your family, friends, or whoever, and let those emotions flow a little bit. 12th house is the house where things are lost and abandoned. Let things flow a little bit. And look at the first card we get, Taurus. The Ace of Cups, all about letting things flow a little bit with the purpose of healing. And there's no point ever in stifling your emotions, ever. You do every now and then have to talk about how you're feeling. Just to air it, just to clean it up, and perhaps even just to have somebody listen. They may not have answers, and I don't even think you need answers. You just want to know that it's okay to talk about such things. And then you can move on and go back and do your day-to-day tasks. So that's a big theme. All that psychic energy, rediscovering the emotions attached to things which may have been lost in your life and people which may have passed on. So the 1st of March, you enter into March with a lot of activity in your 11th house, which is with groups of people. So you may be called upon in work, for example, to work with a new team of people to create something new. And it should be very, very difficult, or it should be a difficult task, and yet you're able to get it done without any great big obstacles. So that's quite a nice energy. The 11th house is also groups of people, friends, and as the energies move on, I think you'll want to do more interesting things with your friends, do fun things. Why? Because the first day of March, there's a full moon, a Virgo moon, which is all about analysing and organising, in your 5th house of fun and pleasure and joy, doing things that really feed your heart's desire. So you could be organising at the very beginning of the month to do something fun with friends, like organising a ticket to Pentacles there. Organising, absolutely, going on the internet and buying that ticket to go to some concert or event or some sports final of something, you know. You want to get back in touch with things that give you a sense of joy. Also, for those of you who have children, look, children are always busy. They have a better social life than all of us. But in March, it might get progressively busier and busier and busier just at the start, where a point will come, a crisis point will come where you'll say, whoa, 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 I really need to get this organized. I need to really see how to organize their little social world. That's for some of you. And for others, it's also the house of love. The house of love. You will be having a moment at the very beginning of the month where you say, am I giving enough time, effort and energy and commitment to the people that I love? And for those who are single, are you getting out there and organizing your life in such a way that you're leaving a space for somebody new to arrive? If that's what you want. If you absolutely don't want that, Taurus, it could just mean that at the very beginning of the month, you want to play again. You just want to play and have fun. And you want to make space for that creativity, for that flow of fun in your life. It'll be like a sudden realization that you really have to make more time for this stuff. So you do. The star coming out there. I'm going to lay that down on the table. What else have we got going on as I look down at the chart here? There's 2 retrogrades. Mercury going retrograde in the 12th house. We just spoke about this. Going into that house where things are mourned, where things are lost and abandoned. And going in and digging deep. And you know what, for you, the retrograde might ask you to, if something has been lost, you may have to go back a couple of times to find it. So what might have been lost? I don't know. We might see that in the cards. It'll make sense to you. The 8 of Swords. So Mercury retrograde is all about going back over and redoing, refinding, rediscovering, reshaping everything that may have been once lost. And it's a great time for you to go back and find it again. So what did you lose? You lost your patience, perhaps, because a bunch of cards just fell on the floor here. Hang on, Taurus. So the first card that came out there is the Magician. What did you lose? You lost your ability to be like the magician, to wave your magic wand and allow good things come into your life, to transform the ordinary things of your life into something beautiful. Perhaps you've lost your way because Hermes, as he is here, shows you which direction you need to be going. And perhaps that's what you have lost. You've lost your direction a little bit. Beside that is the Ace of Wands, which is great, because if you've lost your direction, this is opening something new up for you. The World, you've lost your direction, something new is going to open up and change that, and then you'll have the World. You'll break some sort of behavioral pattern that allows you to see new things with new eyes. The Chariot, and a couple of more cards there, Taurus, and then we'll be able to tell you what else is going on. The big squeeze is still happening there in your 9th house with Pluto, Saturn, and then Mars mid-month joining them. The squeeze for you is to reduce, to limit, to stop you and block you every time you want to expand your horizons, every time you want to go to far off places and see foreign lands, foreign cultures, foreign people. It's almost like you're being blocked at every point. Every time you want to maybe further your education, it's like, damn, I'd love to go to a university. I'd love to go back and get a higher education, but I've got a house to run. I've got money that really needs to go into my other parts of my life. I can't afford this. So the reason why you're being squeezed like that is because it wants you to compress so tightly that at some point later, you will, not in March, but much later, that you will really explode back out and you will say, this is what I want. I don't want to live the Truman Show anymore, where every day I wake up and it's the same script over and over again. I want to see something different. So the point of view, every time you want to see something different and you can't, it's to put you down, 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 down so much that eventually, like a spring, you'll just explode into action. It will take a while, as 2 cards jump out here. The High Priestess. I think Scorpio got this too. Yep. The 8 of Pentacles. Transformation. Yeah, I see why that's happening there. And Jupiter retrograde then in the 7th house. It's asking you here in March to, when you have relationships with somebody, it could be your partner, it could be your business partner, anybody that you have a strong bond with. Jupiter is asking you to go back a bit and eliminate any trash behavior that's influencing it today. So if there were, say in a relationship, if you had a fight months and months and months ago or years ago and you never quite recovered from it, it's time now in March to redo it, bring it back out and open it up, expand it and say, you know, we never really sorted this out. Where can we go from here? I want to eliminate this trash because I don't want the ghosts of relationships past to influence my relationship in the future with you. And for those who are single, or for those who are in any type of relationship, it doesn't matter. It is that same principle of going back into the past and not dragging, even if it's your parents' relationship, not dragging that into your current love life. Or any type of partnership. For some of you, as cards fall on the floor here, again, Taurus, hold on. We have Judgment and we have the Hermit, and they're all your cards. So yeah, let me organize the cards here. So, you know, some of you Taurians might have a very shiny view of how your life was years ago with your parents. As a child, and you may try to relive this kind of Walton's style family, you know, Little House on the Prairie, and it wasn't really quite like that. Or on the flip side, maybe you look back at your family and you say, God, they were totally messed up. I'm never going to make the mistakes that they made again. But in actually limiting yourself by saying, I'm not going to make the mistakes they made, you're kind of cutting many possibilities out of your life that may need to happen, you know. So it's like that. Anyway, it'll make sense to you. I'm giving you the energies, but as the month goes on, Taurus, you will understand this a bit better. Okay, so let's look. Come, let's go. So yeah, all that psychic energy that's happening with the 12th house activity there, communicating your feelings in order for you to heal. This is the big celestial hand coming out of the sky. So it's the correct time. It's exactly the right time where the universe has announced that it wants you to clean these emotions out. You see, it's not just a cup of love, which I'll talk about in a moment. You'll see that there's water rising up and flowing out. If you imagine that this is your emotional body, in order to heal, in order for it to be pure and transformed, it must be released. You must release some of these emotions that you have been holding in so that you can experience that sense of healing. So it'll be, will it be a challenge? I was going to say it's going to be a bit challenging, but I don't think so. I think it will be unusual for you to experience this, but ultimately you'll feel good when this psychic and emotional healing happens through the month of March for you. And it's been handed to you. Like I said, for those of you who have watched people pass out of their lives over the last 3 years, for those who have gone to the other side, to wherever you believe that is, this is their energy coming and saying it's time to grieve properly. It's time to let some of those emotions flow. And that is an act of love, because it's ultimately love that's been offered to you. Traditionally, this card says new love is coming for you. I'll talk about this too. But really, it's something more divine, something more beautiful, offering you love in the form of helping you to heal. And that's gorgeous, Taurus. For some of you, yes, this could, for the single Taurians, maybe not even just for the single Taurians, it could signify a whole new rebirth in love, new possibilities in love. You're just opened up more. And because you're opened up, you will attract people who get you. They understand you and they feel you. Beside that, we have the Two of Pentacles. Now, any great healing requires balance. And look at this guy. He's on one foot. Firstly, look behind. Those waves, the emotional waves, waves of emotion. And he has said, I'm going to step away from that. And I'm going to put at least one foot on dry land to try and balance these emotions so that the healing can begin. And it's very important for you to do this, Taurus. Really is. It really is. Because once you're balanced emotionally, all other aspects of your life will flow far better. If you're experiencing something in your career or in the projects that you're doing and there's block after block, a good way to get things moving for you is to open up emotionally. And let's not forget that Pentacles are earthy cards. So when you open up, you'll be able to come back down to earth, find your balance, and get back in touch with Taurus. Get back in touch with yourself, with how you stand firm on this ground. See, you're only just beginning to rediscover how to stand on your own 2 feet again after, this great big psychic and emotional cleansing. And for some of you, if it's a health issue, this is the promise of healing in March. You will be finally released or offered a way to heal. Because with a Virgo full moon, they're the healers. They're the ones who tell you to have balance, watch your diet, watch your exercise, and take more control of your physical body. And by doing that, you may, encourage this healing and bring a sense of balance back to your physical body and your emotional body. Okay, that's a nice little opening coupling there. The star of hope. Here we have an Aquarius card, so it could be an Aquarius. Maybe it's an Aquarius that you're missing. Maybe they're the one that you shed tears over. And they are asking you to look to your future. This is the energy of Aquarius. It says, look to your future. Don't get so blocked in your life that you can't see your future. Let the tears flow, find the balance, and then you'll be able to see hope on the horizon. Here we have the goddess Iris. She has 1 foot in the sea and also in the sky. She doesn't have a foot in the sky, sorry about that, but she is sky-clad. So she's a goddess of the sky and of the sea. And she is a messenger. She brings water from the river Styx, which brings truth. It's what Aquarius energy always brings. It brings truth. Wherever there is an untruth, Aquarius will expose it. And by flowing here, like the goddess Iris, you're communicating your truth better. And because you're able to do that, you're able to have hope for your future. And I like that. And, beside that, we have a difficult card, which is the 8 of Swords. The 8 is self-imposed prisons, feeling trapped. 8 also represents, in some cases, a deep, deep transformation. Sometimes in the form of somebody physically passing. I don't want this to be a very morbid reading, Taurus. I am speaking to those who may have experienced this, but I want you to be smart enough to follow the symbols here, to apply it to situations in your life if actual physical death hasn't been a real issue for you, okay? But the 8 is about transformation. Something deep and transformative has happened in your life. And you find yourself at a point where you don't know how to untangle yourself from all of those thoughts that you have about this situation. And you feel blinded and bound by your fears, by the thoughts, by the blocks and obstacles that stand in your way. And the reality is that these represent pain. The reality is, once you allow that transformation to happen and see that you have a beautiful, bright future ahead of you, then you can move past this card and actively work towards completing this cycle so that the pain, for those of you who do relate to this, so that the pain can finally come to an end. Okay? Here we have the Magician, again offering you something new, something deep, and something transformative. Big transformations, not surprised. There are many paths to choose from, and he is literally showing you all the different ways in which you can move. He has the symbols here. I don't know if you can see some of them. There is the cups to do with emotions. There's pentacles there. There's the sword, and there's wands. So he's saying at any point you can move ahead in any direction in your life if you allow yourself to trust that the future is bright, that the future has great potential for you. And if you come to the realization that the blocks won't stay forever, because sometimes, Taurus, this is one of your best qualities, in that when you find something that you like to do, when you find something in your life that works, you hold on to it and you value it, you treasure it, and you want to keep it forever as it is, like a perpetual monument to the beauty that you found in this person or this situation, for example. And with all the changes that are happening, you've no longer got something beautiful to hold on to. And that's why you feel so much at a loss. You know, that's why it's painful. And this card is promising you that there is better things and new opportunities for you that will give you something new to value, treasure, and hold on to. That empty space where that person or that situation in your life where that has been missing, something new will come along to replace that. And that's the promise given to you here with the Ace of Wands. There is a new direction, new choices, opportunities, and a new driving force. You see here you have 2 celestial hands coming out for you. So it's divine intervention, saying, okay, after you've done the healing, it's time to move on and get on with your life, and trust that whatever you're doing in your life, your projects, your passions for anything, even your relationships, the fire that you put in all things that you do is now about to be relit and reignited. And you'll have so many ways that you can bring this new flame. So the places where you have been feeling stuck are going to be healed, and you're going to then be able to run with something new. For some of you, it could mean a new life in your family. It could mean a new child, the birth of a child, or even for those of you who aren't interested in having children at the moment, it could mean the introduction of a new life into your home through a pet, you know, or just spicing up your house a little bit with life. And that could actually simply be in the form of adding more plants to your house, you know, just trying to open up the possibilities there for you, Taurus, to see where life can come back into your home and into your whole experience of this world right now. Your whole experience of the world begins with this card in March, where you, through this wonderful healing, through the great communication that you're allowing to happen, talking about your feelings and not bottling things up, you will walk through a door, essentially. And you will walk through, say the pain was here, and you will pass through it. And see, the reason why she's naked, it's not because she's a naturist. Well, maybe she is. See, naked people, you have a lot of naked people. The reason why she's naked is that she's leaving behind the shit of her past. And she's walking naked as she came into this world, as the universe intended, without any doubts, without any fears, without any baggage, without any crap, just as she was the day she was born. It's like a great cleansing so that you can begin again without the trash of some of the things that happened to you in the past. This card can symbolize behavioral loops. And you may identify through all this psychic work that you're doing and deep emotional work that you're doing in the month of March, you may discover something about yourself, that you repeat patterns over and over, like the Truman Show, and you're going to break that and walk through and trust in the promise that there is a freer future for you without the burdens and hardships that you had been experiencing. You know, beside that is the Chariot. This is the card which represents victory and success and moving ahead with your plans, not letting anything stop you. I mean, he's like he's like an express train on the railroad. He's just coming in and he's going to do it and he's going to make it happen. So you see, as you break these behavioral patterns, what you have then is a sense of victory, a sense of being able to move on with confidence and power in your life to conquer great new horizons, you know, conquering victory once these things are healed and tackled. This is also the card that represents the Cancerians of the zodiac. Perhaps a Cancerian is helping you in this process. They may not actively help you. They may just be somebody who is, somebody who is just kind and empathetic, which is what they are. They're also deeply intuitive. They certainly could help you through 12th house issues of tears and dealing with emotions. They're masters at that. So you might find yourself turning to a Cancerian and having a good long talk with them about such things to clear the blocks even further, you know. And look at here, this is a 7. Didn't I say that Jupiter retrograde is going to be happening in your 7th house, where you'll be going back and cleaning up behavioral patterns, maybe that stemmed from your parents' relationship or previous relationships that you had, that you may find that you're bringing their problems or their kind of shiny gloss, kind of like the Waltons, into your future or current relationships. And he's saying once you break the behavioral loop and you become more in touch with these, you know, healing moments, then you can have victory in your relationships. You can succeed, you can win and have something far more authentic in your life, you know. Now, I'm not surprised she came up with all that activity in your psychic zones this month, Taurus. She is the one who travels deep into the psyche, deep into the subconscious, into very 12th house places where things are lost and abandoned, where things are left in hope that they're never found again. And she goes into that room and she finds those little treasures, those little things, insights, pieces of wisdom, which will help you through this process in March, Taurus. And she's balanced here. These two pillars represent many things, but essentially it is the balance between the yin, the yang, the light, the dark, balancing your emotions. So by the end of the month, all this stuff the insights that will come from it will give you a better sense of balance. You'll see pomegranates here too, because she's represented by Persephone. Persephone is the daughter of Demeter, who is the Empress card in the tarot. And she was kidnapped by Hades, the god of the underworld. And the underworld is the 12th house. And she comes back with great truths. I spoke to Scorpio about this too. In fact, they got this card in exactly the same position that you did. So Scorpios could help you with this also. So we've Cancerian energy and Scorpionic energy helping you through this process. And it's their wisdom and insight. It will help you in some way to break through this cycle. And as I was saying, Persephone, she ate 6 seeds of the pomegranate, which forced her then to return every 6 months to the underworld. So that's when it's winter. And then for the other 6 months, then the summer comes back when she returns to her mother, etc. Mother issues here too. Let's not forget that. Mom issues. So. But she goes into the underworld and she finds the truth, the deeper, deeper truth, because the river in Hades is the river Styx. And you will see her, she is pouring water. And this water also in mythology comes from the river Styx. And this water, once you drink it, you can't tell a lie. Well, you can, but if you do, there'll be big consequences for it. You can't breathe, which is high anxiety and blah, 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 blah. But when you go down so deep into your psyche and come back with such incredible truths about yourself, again, you'll be able to move on. We have another 8 card about deep transformation. After you've done this work towards the end of March, you'll be focused back on your life. You'll want to come back with a new sense of vigor, a new sense of power, and you'll want to deeply focus again on all the things in your life, your family, your home, your finances, your career. This is somebody who's intensely focused on putting things back into shape. Anything that was bent and broken, he has the hammer there and he is fixing it. He is also trying to master his skills. This could be you really, really seriously considering going back to school to receive a higher education, to extend your studies further, so that you become more skilled at what you do. And again, you see, once you deal with this emotional stuff, you end up being pushed along. You end up, it's like a fuel. Fix the emotional hurts and we will drive you forward into the next part of your life. I mean, look at this. This is incredible, Taurus. The cards you're getting are unreal. Judgment, more Scorpio energy, calling up the same things. Look at those who have passed on. The things that you did not want to face, the things that you did not want to deal with are now being summoned. The angel is summoning them and he's saying, rise, rise, because you have to rise in order to heal. In order for your life to move forward, you have to heal. And this is what March is calling you to do. And again, beside this is incredible. This is the Hermit. It's a Virgo card, and we do know that the full moon on the first day of the month is a Virgo moon. So it's Virgo right from day one, inspiring all of this to happen. He is holding up his light. You see, I've talked to you about so many heavy things, and you might be a little bit worried about that, saying, oh God, I don't want to revisit the past. I don't want to go back there. But you're never, ever, ever asked to do something that you really can't ultimately handle. That you always have the tools to cope with these things. All you need to be is reminded that you have all the tools required to fix these things. And this is what the Virgo card here is saying. You will be feeling like the Hermit on your own, going very deep, being introspective. But look what he has. He has the staff giving him strength. And he has the light shining on this, because this might look a little bit scary to some of you. Calling up the dead and making peace with situations. I mean, that's scary, but he's shining a light on it to take the darkness out of it. This is the whole month of March for you, my baby. A light has been shone here. so that you can finally get some cleansing, healing, wisdom and understanding about that which has been lost and about that which leaves you feeling like that there's nothing of value anymore in your life. I'm going to bring the camera up here now. Taurus, they were deep cards. They were deep cards. I always do try usually to read the cards with a sense of fun, maybe humour, but every now and again these type of cards come up and I think it would be quite ridiculous to kind of just laugh through them or try to make a joke out of it, because I don't want you to ever sense that I am making a joke out of your very, very, very serious situations. That helps nobody. This is a big month that will require a lot of introspection, but ultimately the light is shining upon you being healed. And then once you're healed, my baby, there are choices. Once you're healed, there is a new sense of fire and passion in your life. Once you break those behavioral loops, the psychological patterns, as I said, like the Truman Show going over and over in a kind of a fake existence, once you break that, you will end up with a sense of victory and triumph in your life. And once you have all of these deep insights about your life, you'll be able to start again, shaping a brand new future with more meaning in your life. You will have mastered something. This is the card of mastering something. And you're on the way in March. And I just really wish you the best. And I want to remind you that in everything that's happening, you do have the skills and tools and strength to get through this. And you also have so much divine intervention helping you. I mean, look. The cards are just jumping. They're just ready to go. Look, all divine intervention. Every single one of them. The celestial hand. I mean, do you see where I'm going with this, Taurus? It's the time. It's the time now. Taurus, I hope you enjoyed that. And if this is your first time watching my videos, please do subscribe. You can like, you can share. And come back next month, because I want to see how you're getting on next month. I want to share the energies with you. And I just want to make sure you're okay after all of that too, okay? And I'm going to give you a big kiss for luck. And I will be thinking of you, Taurus, as you're going through this journey in March. And don't forget, I love you lots. And I'll see you next month, okay?